everyone for joining during Saturday for this wonderful event with us here and this beautiful NICM Health Research Institute's building. So it's my pleasure to be here. You can't hear me?
Yeah. You might put the mic a bit closer.
Oh, okay. Probably I can use this.
Maybe the other one.
Okay, I try to use this one. Closer. It's better? Okay, great. So, it's my pleasure here to share the global insights about current clinical research studies and Tai Chi's health benefits. So, firstly, I'd like to acknowledge the country. Western Sydney University and NICM Health Research Institute acknowledge that today's workshop is being held in the country of the Dara people and acknowledge their ancestors who have been traditional owners of their land, country for tens and thousands of years. And Western Sydney University also wishes to acknowledge and pay our respects to the elder past, present, and emerging. So, as Sarah mentioned, I am a researcher, young researcher at NICM Health Research Institute, Western Sydney University. I have the passion to do research and also through my teaching to share the beauty of Tai Chi to the community. I also teach Tai Chi here in our ground floor. We have an integrative medicine clinical center. I offer Tai Chi class here. And so firstly, let's go back to the origin of Tai Chi, which my Tai Chi master always tell this story to me, and which helped raise the passion for me to about share the beauty of Tai Chi. So many of you maybe know Tai Chi was originated in China, date back to the end of the Ming Dynasty, 17 centuries ago. And a martial artist called Chen Wangting, after retired from his army life as a general, he go back to his hometown, which is a small village in Henan province, China, which is very famous now called Chengjiagou. And he started thinking and have time to embed himself into Chinese culture and thinking and do some reflection of his whole life. And so he combined the Chinese martial arts and military martial arts and Brazilian meditative techniques, philosophy of yin and yang, and a theory of traditional Chinese medicine into this slowly peaceful movement, which is later called yin and yang. And why he created this? Because he wants to have a better late life to help improve his physical and psychological health benefits. And then it passed on generation by generation as a family treasure in their family. And later, because of the health benefits, attracts the attention of the healthcare professionals. Tai Chi could be a great option, as we mentioned, not for their family, but also for everyone, because of the health and mental health benefits, and it has almost no special facility requirements and venue. It has venue flexibility, minimum requirements of the space. So that's why during COVID shutdown, people practice Tai Chi at home, and you can do indoor and outdoor. And it's suitable for almost all age group, from kids to adults to older adults, can be your lifelong friends. And there are a variety of styles and forms to be chosen, so it's very interesting. And it can be practiced as individually or in a group, so it has some social interactions. And it can be easily tailored to suitable for personal conditions and preference and individualized. And yeah, as mentioned, it can be a lifelong learning journey. Always have space for improvements and always provides the joy of improvement. And it also has connection to Chinese culture and philosophy. So for those who are interested in Chinese culture, Tai Chi can open the door for you. So as mentioned, because of the health and psychological benefits, Tai Chi attracts healthcare teams' attention. So since my team and my colleagues in Beijing University Chinese Medicine, Western University, and Harvard University, we did a research to look at the literature in the current Tai Chi research in the literature. Before 2013, there were 507 clinical studies, and we found that the first Tai Chi study in the clinical study were published in 1958, and the first randomized control trial, which is called the gold standard of evidence, were published in 1988. That's about cut and rehabilitation. And since 2000, the clinical studies about Tai Chi were increasing stably, including like the gold standard randomized control trials. And we also look at what happens between after we firstly published that one, and what happens in the next 10 years. So we find the clinical studies are increasing stably, and majority were focused on adults and older adults who were aged 60 years or older, and very few focused on young adults or children, so there's still some research gap there. And those studies were conducted in 31 countries, and including 105 conditions and diseases. Those were published in majority in China, and second is United States, and Australia, and some European countries and African countries. So from this table, you can see those research studies covered almost all the systems, which matches the common disease and conditions among the older adults. So you can see like hypertension, COPD, diabetes, knee osteoarthritis, heart failure, depression, osteoarthritis, breast cancer, coronary heart disease, and insomnia. And 25% of them were looking at healthy participants and looking at for health prevention, health promotion, or for prevention, or look at just some biomechanical outcomes. Yang style is the most popular, and followed by Chen and Shun style. This is probably because of during the history, Yang style is most popular. And Tai Chi was mostly commonly developed in those clinical trials. Face-to-face is the most commonly say method to delivering the Tai Chi program. And majority were 1 hour per session, 3 times per week for 12 weeks. And however, we find that adverse events were underreported, and I think majority of you, even we say Tai Chi looks like safe. However, in clinical settings, we still should pay more attention about the adverse events and should be reported and let everyone know how safe it is. And most studies reported at least one outcome favors Tai Chi. So now let's look at some high quality research published in top medical journals. So this is the one published in New England Journal of Medicine, which is the top one medical journal in the world. And Tai Chi, this study is focused on Parkinson's disease, involved 195 patients. And the researcher finds that compared to resistance training and stretching, Tai Chi group appears like have better results to improve their balance, and also improve their functional capacity and reduce falls. And next one, we look at Tai Chi compared to multimodal exercise for preventing falls. This study also published in another high quality research about in JANA Internal Medicine. This study involved 670 adults in those with high risk of falling, like 80 years or older. And they find that Tai Chi reduced fall by 58%, and compared to stretching exercise. And compared to other multimodal exercise intervention, reduced fall by 31%. And another study published in Journal of Clinical Oncology, which is also a top medical journal, 90 patients with as a survivor of breast cancer, the researcher compare cognitive behavioral therapy, which is the gold standard for improved insomnia. And the researcher finds that compared to the CBT insomnia, Tai Chi group significantly and clinically meaningfully improve the sleep. Another study still focused on sleep quality in patients with lung cancer. This study is a straight-arm randomized control trial, and the researcher included 226 patients with advanced lung cancer, and they follow up for 16 weeks and finds that statistically significant benefits on the sleep quality were shown in the Tai Chi group. This is also another well-known in the healthcare team study. It's about Tai Chi for, this is kind of rheumatic disease, and Tai Chi group significantly improve the outcomes better, especially reduce pain, improve flexibility than the normal exercise, physical exercise. Another study were focused on knee osteoarthritis. Compared to physical therapy, Tai Chi significantly improved their outcomes. And this study included also a large-scale randomized control trial, including 204 patients. And let's look at another one. This one is focused on mild cognitive impairment, and with 304 participants. And the researchers find that compared to standard like normal Tai Chi and stretching exercise, this specially developed Tai Chi program can improve their cognition and memory. And so there are so many.
Sorry to interrupt. There's some people that are on Zoom that are saying that the slides aren't moving. They're still on the title screen.
The slides aren't moving?
Yeah, the slides aren't moving for them.
Not moving?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Let me stop sharing and re-sharing. Sharing. Okay, I hope it works. Can everyone see the slides? Guoyan group. Yes, okay, good, thank you. So we also did overview of all the systematic reviews, because there are so many single studies, but we want to pull them together to see because when we pull them, the sample size will be bigger and the results will be more accurate. And so we did an overview of 210 systematic reviews, and we find clinically important benefits were both consistently reported for the following diseases, as you can see, like Parkinson's disease for prevention, osteoarthritis, stroke rehabilitation, low back pain, hypertension, chronic heart failure, and stroke prevention. But here you can see the quality still has space to improve. And so all this research can make another important contribution about clinical guidelines. So this is a researcher, Dr. Tam and her team finds that Tai Chi has been mentioned and recommended in 50 English published clinical guidelines, and Tai Chi were recommended 38 times. And let's look at this table. So as you can see, United States has 22 and Australia has 6 clinical guidelines recommend Tai Chi. And the developer For US, you can see it's some like a national professional associations such as the US National Center for Injury Prevention and Control. This is part of the CDC. American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, American Diabetes Association, and WHO. And let's look at some the clinical trials published by Australia. So some of them were not recommended. They just mentioned Tai Chi, but these 3 studies were recommend Tai Chi as an option. So in a summary, so research on Tai Chi's benefits is increasing globally, and with increased attention and application in healthcare system, especially for conditions like cardiovascular disease, mental health balance for prevention, chronic pain, and cancer recovery. And however, more high-quality scientific research is still needed to inform and update those health professional rehabilitation or chronic disease management programs in clinical guidelines. And as we can see, there are still some understudied populations and conditions such as young people and children and ethnically diverse communities and mental health conditions. So that's a brief sharing from me. Thanks everyone for your attention.